Welcome friends again. I'm here Malini Shah with another topic today, which is living with passion. We all go through our lives and we all have our own highs and lows. There are times where we are really good and where we really feel on top of the world, and we feel that we can conquer anything which comes in our way or any kind of a challenge. And there's so much of an internal desire to succeed and to do things and to bring our best in whatever we do. And when we talk about passion, it's basically following your dreams, following what your heart wants to achieve, and then using your mind faculty to actually create the plan of action to achieve it. And once you do that, once you're involved into it, you're completely into the flow of the whole process. There's nothing which can distract you, there's nothing which can take away your focus or your concentration from what you're pursuing. And that's what is when we say that living with passion. It's very important in today's times because there are so many factors which can easily distract us, or there are so many factors which can easily make us lose sight of our goals or our focus on our priorities because of the various challenges which come up with it. And today's time, sometimes we see that we may get into a negative pattern of doing things, or we may get into a negative way of looking at situations just because one thing has not gone right or has not gone according to our way of doing things. We had a girl, it's a example which I'm trying to give you is who's very good in her studies, doing extremely well into a field of her liking. But every time when she goes there, there's a lot of pressure in her to perform or excel, just because there has been pressure from others that she is good and she has been put into a batch which caters to the excellent students, and that's where she starts feeling the pressure. And although doing well, although the subjects are her core competencies, sometimes because of the anxiety she feels the pressure and is not able to perform or do well. The passion is there, but when the passion is mixed with the idea of having to excel or getting a result to show that you are something good or somebody excellent, then that's where the negative effects start coming up. Passion just means, have you ever seen a bird floating in the air, or have you just seen a child floating in the pond of water? Passion is something which you just do freely. It comes from within you, and when it is coming from within you, you just do it very freely. There is no compulsion, there is no kind of a force on you to do it. It's just coming out of your natural way of doing it, and when you do that, the challenges become more easier because you are in the flow of the process, you are just completely there. If you see a water coming from a height, it flows at a very high intensity and pressure, and when it comes down, there is a channelizing given to it, in the sense it has been channelized by the way the path has been constructed for the water to flow about. It's the same with your passion. There's so much of intensity, there's so much of force in it, and if you direct it in the right way through your intelligence, through your way of making goal plans for your life, then definitely it can achieve you the best of results and can give you a satisfaction which you cannot imagine, or you cannot get it even when you want to do certain things and you feel good about it. So this is how we go about in today's session, that what is living with passion, and then what are some of the rules which lead you to do this in a much better way, in a much focused way. And the first thing which comes up in this is, as I mentioned, is the challenges. Okay. According to Mr. J.M. Fogg, a well-known person, life can be a rocky road, and the challenge is not to grind you to the dust, but to polish you into a brilliant gem. There can be many challenges on the road. If you walk, there could be many potholes. If you are flying, there could be many air pockets where you feel the rockiness. But still, wherever you are, you need to understand that the challenges cannot reduce you, but you can actually glow more brighter in those challenges. Challenge is something, the way you look at it makes an impact, because if you view it as a detrimental object, then definitely it's going to affect you. If you view it that it's going to lead you uphill to something else, then definitely it's going to help you. So the way you look at a challenge also becomes very important. There are so many examples where people have handled the challenges and come up in their lives. and they have really achieved themselves or made a mark for themselves. It's the way you look at a challenge and the way you go about it. I've recently been to a place away from Bombay where basically for the students we had some programs, and there we saw a child, like the child comes from a very poor family, and the child is very much interested in studying. But the place where they stay, there's no electricity sometimes in the evenings, and the child cannot study. Now this child on a Saturday and a Sunday when the school is off goes to a nearby place. It's a hill where there's a small kind of a cave, and just to avoid the noise and everything, the child sits there and he studies on a Saturday and a Sunday, just because there is a passion in him to learn or whatever is been taught to him. The place where he stays is also very crowded. There are almost about 10 family members crammed in one room, so there's a lot of noise. And this is the way in which this child has started studying. Even in the rains, the child takes an umbrella, he sits there and he studies and comes back. What could motivate this child? The challenge? Definitely yes, because there are not of adequate resources with this child to do the studies in a normal way. But yet the child has found a way out of that challenge to accomplish or to go after what he wants in his life. So it's basically, if you view a challenge as a positive, then definitely it builds up a strong human being. The foundation becomes very strong, because once you reach the top, you cannot start from the scratch. So you have to work up from the scratch and reach up the top. So when you are at that phase, you can actually understand what are the issues going on at that level. And that's where, if you view a challenge as a positive thing, it can definitely mold you. It's like passing a gold ore from the fire, because that's how it becomes more brighter, and that's how it becomes more shinier. So that's way, if you look at it in a challenge, then you are definitely going to build up a strong foundation for your life.